Good morning. Welcome to the BF Anderson Technical Report for June the 6th. The stock market will go much higher and its strength will be shocking. Article by Tom Bally on June the 2nd. I agree with this. I think that the market will go higher, and I think it'll go much higher. And I think it's going to shock a lot of people. And it's just like the 1990s, when we got into that major 9-year bull market. It really shocked a lot of people, and people that normally didn't come into the market came in like the 9th year. But the premise of the article is something I've been hearing a lot of, and I know to be true. Bill Miller of Legg Mason, well, he's no longer Legg Mason, but Bill Miller, the famous money manager, has talked about this as well. What we think's happening here is that when interest rates move higher, and this article, Bally, make sure I got his name right, excuse me, Tom Bally, states that he thinks that the 10-year Treasury note will go to 4 to 5%. Well, that means that people are going to start losing significant amount of money in their bond funds for the first time in 40 years. And there's like trillions of dollars locked up in these things, and that once that money starts to flow out of bond funds and bond type of instruments, it's got to go somewhere, and we think it's going to go to the stock market. So anyway, interesting article. This is a piece that I've done here showing the NASDAQ. Excuse my voice this morning, I'm fighting a summer cold. But what I'm trying to point out here is that there are times where buy and hold just doesn't work. Buy and hold works until it doesn't. And if the market is in a downtrend like it did, like I'm showing here the year 2000, you've got a high, got a low, a lower high, a lower low, so forth. This is a downtrend. It would be very difficult to buy and hold securities or stocks during that period. Now, the thing that also complicates matters is that once this downtrend exhausts itself and we start a new uptrend, the stocks that led in the past uptrend will no longer lead. There's going to be a change of leadership. Now, buy and hold works sometimes, like back in this period here, it did work, but you just need to be open-minded that sometimes it just doesn't work. Now, here is the S&P 500. Now, I'm using 2008 here, which was the financial crisis, and again, you can see where we have the high, the lower low, the lower high, the lower low. It's a downtrend. The trend is your friend. You want to understand what the trend is so that you can act accordingly. Now let's look at where we are today. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful uptrend. We are in an uptrend right now. This is potentially a buy and hold market. It could really evolve into that. Now the point I'll make here, this is the NASDAQ now, and this is as of yesterday. The NASDAQ is making all-time new highs now, where the S&P 500 is not, the Dow Jones is not, the New York Composite is not. Now the small caps are, so that's telling you that this market is becoming more growthy and that the growth stocks are going to continue to be leading. So if we go back and look at a couple of examples here, now this is going back 20 years, and this is the '08 crisis. And I'm trying to make a point here about buy and hold. Let's say you decided to buy and hold Citicorp. Well, my gosh, it was at $480 a share prior to the financial collapse. It got down to $10 a share and has been moving basically sideways ever since. This would have been a really tough one to buy and hold. Now, one that we hear a lot about is Amazon. And, we owned Amazon back in 1997. We bought the stock at approximately a split adjusted price of about $1.50. Then the stock rallied up to 100, and we had a stop in, which was 20% from a high. So when the stock hit 80, we sold. Now you have to realize it took a long period of time to get back over 100 again. I mean, I'm looking at least 9, 10 years of holding. So this would have been very difficult to buy and hold, but by gosh, it sure did come out and turn out to be one of the best investments of all time. Here is the top 5. Again, Axon Enterprises, which is the old Taser. The stock hit an all-time new high. This stock is acting fantastic. They just signed a new deal this morning with an international company. Looks good to me. This is an exciting deal. We own the stock. I have to disclose that. This is a Biomed. It's been on the list for a while. This is a medical technology, a heart pump, major breakthrough, all-time new high. Here is a Chinese company that's involved in the automobile industry called Autohome, all-time new high. So you can see that the Chinese stocks are actually getting some strength. Here's Netflix, all-time new high, looking really good. Now here's a software company that we're following called Twilio, hit an all-time new high. So the bottom line is this is a bull market. I do think stocks are going to go up a lot, and I think it's going to shock everybody. But we'll just have to see, and let me know if you have any questions.